Okay, here's a question I see often on our forums. How much importance do you put on the moon phases? Well, for me, it is a variable that has an impact on bass behavior. It's just another influence to consider. So what I've noticed is, during the daytime, for example, where I'm fishing and the activity level of the birds and the wildlife, you see this a lot in the mornings, where they're really active, and guess what? You're catching a lot of fish. And then later on in the day, the bite slows down, you don't catch as many fish, and guess what? Birds aren't flying around, they're just floating on the water. The cattle, if you see that, or dogs, cats, whatever, they're just laying down, they're not moving, they're not very active. And that's not by happenstance. There's something to it. The moon phases do affect all living creatures, human beings included, and that has an influence on bass behavior. And I've seen it happen on different days of the week and different times of the month. I've noticed personally that a lot of the larger fish that I've caught throughout the years tend to be on or around a new moon. I don't know exactly why, but I've noticed that, keeping my logs, that it happens a lot of times around the new moon. So if I'm planning a vacation, for example, and a fishing vacation, I try to see, hey, can I plan that vacation around a new moon? It might up my chances of catching larger fish. Now, how much of an impact it has on it is up to discussion and debate. But I look at it as another influence, just as I would the weather for the day, as well as the season and the water temperature. Just other things to consider when you're out there fishing is what are the moon phases and what's going on with that, and how might it affect the bass that day.